Bobo Egungun Ara Orun Bobo Orisha, for another day to bask in the goodness of Onile's sacred earth. Every day given is very special, and here are a few details, cosmic details, pertaining to how. I'm Ayansa JT Muse, and this is your early rising or your evening settling mystic forecast. Ekule and good evening. I hope everybody is doing amazing and had a wonderful Wednesday. I know I sure did. It was music from Queen Latifah with California Dreamin'. And now we're getting into your nightly mystic forecast here on 222.9, the Mothership Internet Radio. And I am Ayansa J. Muse, the Black Madonna of the airwaves, bringing you the mystics, the music, and the mojo on your Wednesday, Uranus, not Venus, Venus is in retrograde, Mercury and Uranus ruled Oya venerated Wednesday. And the creation story, this is the third day of the week, the day that the Most High created the heavens, the planets, the solar system, and let it be for watching for signs. So those of you Bible thumpers that think that astrology is a sin, you might want to check Genesis chapter 1 and study to show thyself approved. Ibashe Ojoriru, that's the Yoruba day for Wednesday in the Yoruba language, and that is the day of confusion. Now, confusion doesn't have to be a bad thing when you allow your ego to surrender it so that you can grow. And I'm here to help you do that along groove and grow, because I'm bringing you the mystics, the music, and the mojo, all infused into one planetary sound healing aligned with the planets and the Orisha. So I'm broadcasting live from my YouTube channel. So if you aren't already, go ahead on and like and share and follow on all social media, my YouTube, my Facebook pages, my Twitter, my Instagrams, in which I just changed all my usernames to 222.9 in the day of the week, so that you can stay aligned with my entire 7-day orbit. Yes, I got a whole 7-day orbit, so you're going to have to be able to switch tracks if you want to keep up. All day long, we've been listening to the exotic sounds of the mothers here on 222.9, the Mothership Internet Radio, and veneration to the Orisha Oya. And Oya, in many Ifa Orisha traditions, is venerated on Wednesday. That's why I spell it W-I-N-D-S, because it is she who rules the winds, she who rules the storms, and she who brings the changes. So if there's some whirlwinds going on in your life, just give Oya some thanks and praises. And that way, those tornadoes may just calm themselves down to a gentle breeze. Tell you more about that when we come back after the break. I'm going to wet my whistle real quick, and we're going to talk about what's so special about this Wednesday that came. I'm Ayansa J. Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast. Wednesdays, Mercury, Uranus, purples. Ibashe Oya, Ibashe Nanaburu, maroons, exotic voices of the mothers. Welcome to Wednesdays on the Mothership, 222.9. Beam up. Purples, rich maroons, rich browns, rainbows, Ayansa's Gourd bottle art, Ayansa's Gourd bottle art digital prints, books, Malbec Planetarium articles, and teachings. handmade healing stone jewelry, astrology charts, astrology readings, astrology inspired mystic gifts, and so much more. It's all inside the Mothership Mystic Boutique, the Mercury Uranus Collection. And we're back. So, in case you're just now joining us, I'm Mayanza J. Muse, the Black Madonna of the airwaves and the sole creator of 222.9, the Mothership Internet Radio, bringing you your nightly mystic forecast for July 26, 2023. It is Leo season day 5. If we started on the 21st, those of you that went in on the 22nd, it's Leo season day 4. My energy is a little melancholy today because here where I am, our community just bid farewell to a very, very amazing human being, an elder that spent a huge part of his art career, really his whole life, making sure that he supported the younger artists coming behind him. So I just want to take a moment to remember and give thanks for the life of Jesse Lott. When I began my bottle art journey and he found out about it, he gave me a lot of paint and a lot of encouragement and a lot of things to work with and starting out on my art journey. He was always there at Project Row Houses, and I remember playing dominoes with him and Rick Lowe and kept losing, but it was great times. And I'm just thankful to have had an opportunity in my life to share time and space with someone who was as caring and as giving, yet as talented as he is. We're not going to say was because, when you follow Reacher tradition, we believe that life transforms, it doesn't end. So when Jesse Lott transitions to the ancestors, I send my love, my light, and my peace and my healing out to his loved ones and just light a candle in his honor. So that's one of the reasons my energy is a little melancholy today. Also, in music news, Sinead O Conner, who became famous for covering Prince's rendition of Nothing Compares to You, went to the ancestors on today. So we got some ancestor energy going on. And of course, Oya is the mother of the ancestors. Speaking of, she rules today, bringing some midweek mastery on a 22-4. Now, 22 is a master number. And of course, 2, the single digit itself, is the number of the divine feminine. So when that number shows up, that pertains to things dealing in pairs. And when that adds up to the 4, that's a very solid foundation of grounding. So while Oyas bring a whirlwind of confusion on Wednesday, it's designed for you to master your grounding because the earth moves in fours: summer, autumn, winter, spring, north, south, east, west, earth, wind, water, air. So get your hands on that spiritual mastery, whatever it is you need to do to get a stronger grounding and a better grip on yourself. And you have the moon waxing in Scorpio tonight to help you out with that because Scorpio is the zodiac house 8 that deals with the deepest of the deep emotions, the fixed water, the ice, the lakes, the swamps, the waters, the emotions that are just sitting there stagnant. Allow yourself to dive deep into those waters because in order to master ourselves, we often find ourselves having to open our own inner ugly chambers. This is the first Wednesday of Leo season and the fifth one of summer solstice. So the sun is turning up the heat and giving us all a free sauna. So just take a minute. If you're going to pay all that money to go to a spa to sweat something out, why don't you treat yourself to that free sauna from Mother Nature? You know what I'm saying? Go outside with yourself a jug of water. Get yourself under a shade tree and just sit there and sweat it out for a minute. The summer does that for you because you're supposed to purge a lot during summer solstice, and that's the reason it gets so darn hot. We are in the first decan of Leo season until August 1st, which is my solar return. So everyone born between the 22nd and the 1st are 100% Leo, and ain't no cut on your dough, just straight up sun energy. And this in the season of the Kemetic way of the stars, we are in the season of Bash, the cat goddess, still for 2 more days until the 28th. And then the African way of the stars, African spirituality signs, we are in the season of the witch and the judge until August 5th. So we got all that fire energy going on. And if today is your solar return, hey, 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 shout out to the Leos. Happy Leo season. Make sure all of you in the other 11 houses show all the Leos in your life some love because you know you going to want somebody to help you turn up when your season comes. And if you were born on today, you are capable and dependable, although you are rather domineering. They must be talking about Leo males. Don't throw them over here with us. You are fond of good literature and you are fluent and intelligent talker. You're an amusing entertainer. You prefer the company of the opposite sex. Marry young, and your home will be congenial and happy. Hmm. So those of you that know somebody that's born on July 26th, if they single and you have good intentions, snatch them up because that's a good person to have in your life. We're also dealing with 4 planetary retrogrades, 3 days into Venus retrograde. So if you're a Taurus or Libra or know a Taurus or Libra, allow yourself to be easy. Take in that energy. Venus is a planet of love, sex, beauty, and money. We went into Venus retrograde on July 23rd, and the House of Leo will be coming out on September 4th. So this will be a short retrograde, all right? So if you haven't locked in your relationship before the 23rd, you might want to wait until after September 4th because Venus retrograde is not a good time to start a new relationship, not a good time for wedding plans, not a good time for any of that. Why? Because in your love life, the exes come back creepy crawling out the woodworks, honey. So get ready for Groundhog Day. And when those exes come back, don't be so quick to either be too dismissive or to just fall back in. Because the primary reason your ex comes back is so that you can learn the lessons from the past relationships. So whether you move on with them or not, you still obtain the lesson that you needed to learn that would have made you a better, stronger, wiser, spiritually more grounded person with or without them. Now is not the time to spend on frivolous things because with Venus in retrograde, this is a time for you to maximize and make some love to what you already got. Anything cosmetic that pertains to a needle or a knife, you might want to leave that alone until Venus comes out of retrograde. So that's cosmetic surgeries or tattoos. You might want to leave that alone to the 4th because you might just come out botched. We are in planetary retrograde of Pluto, so that hits the Scorpio house kind of hard. So if you are a Scorpio, be easy on yourself. If you are close to a Scorpio, give them 50 feet because these changes are going to be a little more subtle since Pluto is the furthest planet from the sun that we know about. We went in on the Pluto retrograde on May 1st. We'll be coming out on October 11th. And Pluto is retrograding in the house of Aquarius. So these changes are pertaining to things that you already know need to happen, as Aquarian energy is the energy of knowing. So embrace those inner transformations, those little things that your Ori keep telling you to do. Honor your Ori and go ahead and do what's really on your heart. Close old chapters, end old relationships, end old thinking patterns. And those of you that practice Orisha tradition, Pluto retrograde is good for an energy for Ogun Onire. For a peaceful, smooth transition through Venus retrograde, you may want to go see Oshun about that. We are also in planetary retrograde of Saturn. And Saturn is the planet that rules Capricorns and Aquarians. So if you're a Capricorn or you're an Aquarius, then you might want to take it easy. If you're close to a Capricorn or an Aquarius, give them 50 feet because Saturn is their ruling planet the trickster planet of karma, discipline, power, your carnal essence, the reasons why your loins cut up on your spirit sometimes. Those of you that practice Ifa or Risha tradition, this is a good time to talk to Eshu or Babalu Ia. We went in on June 17th. We'll be coming out November 4th in the House of Pisces. Reflect on those important life lessons. Embrace those deeper crossroads. Get your priorities in check. Now, that helps you out with Venus retrograde energy when those exes come back. See how deeply they align with your highest spiritual road. And if you haven't found that higher spiritual road yet, now is a good time to start. Practice self-discipline. Master self-expression. And you will reap the rewards of self-mastery. Fourthly, we have Neptune in retrograde as well. And that's Olokun and Yamaja energy, dreamy, divine, compassionate energy. Things that pertain to your intuition, your psychic abilities, and things of that nature. We went into Neptune retrograde on June 30th. We'll be coming out on December 6th. So that's a lot of 3 energy up in there. So you know Eshu is always involved. And this is a very, very strong retrograde because Neptune is retrograding in the house of Pisces, which is the sign that it rules. So if you are a Pisces, be easy on yourself. If you're close to a Pisces, give them some little more patience than usual. And in the meantime, in between time, be mindful of your delusionism. Stay grounded to avoid escapism. Avoid disconnection. Reaccess your dreams and learn that life in itself is a dream. But how do you live your life as a dream without being delusional? There's a delicate balance. Well, that's why it's important to stay grounded during Neptune retrograde, because during that time, you stay grounded, you're actively manifesting your dreams, which means that they're making their material manifestation on earth. But when you're just kind of floating off in the la-la land, all in your spirit and forgetting that you're in a human meat suit, then that's how your dreams and manifestations can quickly turn into an imbalanced delusion. So make sure you maintain that balance as we go through these 4 planetary retrogrades. And I'm sorry to rub it in, but it's Leo season, baby, so I have to. As Leo Zodiac House 5, we don't have to worry much about planetary retrograde energy. You know why? Because we're the only ones in the solar system ruled by the sun. And honey, the planets, all of them orbit around us. And the sun never retrogrades. I'm Ayanza J. Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast. When I come back, we're going to talk about tonight's tarot draw. Ashe. Come on now, baby. All this spiritual stuff, you need somebody to just make it plain. Are you trying to divinely align? Are you a starseed? Are you too busy building the kingdom, building the queendom to come for all the madness going on in the world today? Methods of emotional healing? Are you taking your first steps down your spiritual path? Want a more practical understanding of the Orisha? Do animals seem to communicate with you? Do you need to sort out some things about love? Do you see numbers? Spiritual signs? Need somebody to just make it plain? Does your love for esoteric wisdom coin you a student of life? Do you like wisdom in poetic bars? Are you ready to debunk the spookism behind ancestor veneration? Want to learn how to make medicine? Want to learn about different tools of divination? Tantric spiritual sex secrets? Ways to utilize each and every moon? Do you walk the road less traveled? Are you considered strange by society? Are you discovering your spiritual gifts? Do you want to taste the power of words through incantation? Do you want to get into some unorthodox Bible teachings? Do you dream often? Do you long to explore the secrets of the earth's endless mysteries? Do you study the stars? Do you need tips on building good character? Do you want to know more about how to interpret dreams? Do you love some good literature? Need somebody to just make it plain? Then indulge in the art. Indulge in the art. And indulge in the art. Indulge in the art. And indulge in the art. Indulge in the art. The art of spirituality in Ayanza J. Muse's orbit. Ayanza J. Muse's orbit is a monthly subscription service that features free and exclusive content dedicated to your versatile, well-rounded, deeper understanding of spirituality. It comes from all angles, teaches all kinds of lessons, and it cooks like a gumbo, a whole bunch of different spiritual ingredients and one spiritually flavorful soup. And let that soup feed your soul and enhance your highest spiritual life. It even features an opportunity to have a one-on-one counseling session with yours truly. So don't get left behind. Get beamed up to the orbit. All proceeds go to 222.9 The Mothership, Mystic Internet Radio. Sign up for the 222.9 The Mothership Internet Radio email list to stay in the exclusive loop of what's going on in the orbit. Ashe. In Iyansa J. Muse's orbit. High-level spiritual wisdom. Fully flavored with no holds barred. And we're back. So in case you're just now joining us, I'm Mayanza J. Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast. Now, those of you that are watching from my Twitter, go ahead and follow that because I just got that restarted. God, I'm such a social media cave woman. Anywho, those of you that are watching from my Twitter, my Facebooks, and my YouTube, you are seeing my transparency tarot card. Those of you that are listening over the mothership's airwaves up to the 24/7 groove, you're hearing this voice of mine over the sounds of Sade's Jezebel. Those of you that are watching me on my Instagram, 2229 Wednesdays, well, y'all get to see me talking, drinking water, dropping stuff, and everything in between. But anywho, this is my Wednesday nightly tarot deck, the Mayan Oracle. And we pulled a lens tonight, and that lens is transparency. And as you can see, it showed up inverted with the keyhole upside down. So this speaks to a lot of obscurity that is coming to the light. And that's not always an external thing. Sometimes we have to reveal our deepest things to ourselves. That's why there's a keyhole in the middle of this card. We often have chambers in our spirits, in our souls, in our vaults that just stay locked up. And sometimes that very thing we need to move ahead, that we think we can find in something external, is actually inside of us. And the more we are transparent with ourselves, the less we will feel we have something to prove to society. That way, other people's projections of you are no longer taken personally, and you no longer have to prove that you're not who others may say you are. Transparency allows you to sort out who you are from who you're not, from who you were to who you're becoming. So don't be afraid to be vulnerable with yourself. That's where it's very important to start, because people who lie to themselves lie to their loved ones and thus the rest of the world by default. So this card is calling to talk to you about being transparent with yourself. But while the transparency card is inverted, it's also telling you everything ain't everybody's business. So everything that's going on with you internally doesn't need to be other people's talking points, you know what I mean? So I'm going to just simply flip this deck over. The whole deck, not going to shuffle. And let's see what we have here. Let me just turn it over. Oh, resolution of duality. So going within and dealing with your energies of transparency can help you bring a better balance of your inner dualities. And once your ego self and your spirit self can shake hands and walk together, then you have a much more well-grounded individual to work with to face all the madness going on in today's world. So, should you need a personal reading, go ahead on and hit up that link in the comments section, my pin site. That's the key to my entire Iyansa J Muse orbit. And when you do that, then you have access to all of my signature readings, including numerology, I Ching, tarots, and you can do that on chat as well as a reading by email. And with that said, I'm going to take another quick break, and then when I come back, we're going to talk about what's to come When Oya passes the baton to Shango, Mercury and Uranus shift into Jupiter, and then it's Thursday. I'm Mayanza J. Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast. Before sight. Before sight of shells, there were stanzas, stanzas of my soliloquies. Before sight of wisdom, before sight of worship, there was only my written word, Afoshe. Before sight of divination, before sight of Dafa, there were diaries, diaries in dozens. Before sight of revelation, before sight of reason, there were only my rhapsodomancies of rhyme, rearranged to rhythms of my lipstick-kissed alchemy, alchemies of my depths, my valleys, my mountains, my visions, my empathies, my testimonies, my joys, my sorrows, my love. Before sight of awakening, before sight of airwaves, before sight of anointing, there were archives of my allegories. Before sight of clarity, before sight of conversion and clergy call, there were collections of my ink prints. Before sight of prophecy, before sight of priestesshood, there was poetry, poetries that bear my fruit. There was me. Did you enjoy what you found within I Chings and Scarlet Serenes? Then you'll love it when we sweeten it up a bit with some honey, love, and war paint. Your Fridaily blog about love at www.poeticallymused.org/sweet sacred honey gourd. That's poeticallymused.org/SWEETSACREDHONEYGOURD. Why don't you meet me there tomorrow? Ashe. And we're back. So in case you're just now joining us, I'm Mayanza J. Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast on your self-created radio station 222.9 The Mothership. I just dropped my note card. Damn. Anywho, Shango and Oshun got some apples and honey for you tomorrow, because when the moon shifts from Scorpio energy into Sagittarius energy, that arrow's going to be aiming high on Shango's day. So that's going to be a double dose of expansive energy, and there's where you get the apples. The honey is going to be coming from the daily numerology, vibing on a 5. And 5 is the number sacred to Oshun and Ifa or Risha tradition. So Mercury communicates to the heavens where Jupiter expands. So you got 2.5 hours to make the most of tonight's Scorpio waxing moon, complete with Oya's winds of change, Mercury communicating with the heavens, and Uranus giving you the intellect. When tomorrow, well, you've got some Jupiter expansive kind of energy coming, and the moon's going to be waxing in the 9th house, where you'll be encouraged to use everything that's going on with you emotionally as fuel to aim your arrows high. 4 planets will still be in retrograde tomorrow, so be mindful of all of those notes. And I'll be doing some individual videos on that where you can go back and reference that to your being. So that's the heads up that you have coming up for Thursday. And of course, Here on the mothership at 12 a.m., we start Thursday out with sacral chakra sleep meditation. On to the rising Bimbe to Shango, Aganju, Dada, and all the fire deities from 7 to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. And then we got the funky fire starter of divine grooves of the fathers all day long. Check it out. Thursday's breads Jupiter expansion, I Ching's, sensual voices of the fathers, sacral chakra healing, Ibashe Shango, Ibashe Dada, Ibashe Aganju. Welcome to Thursdays on the mothership, 222.9, beam up. And that concludes our nightly forecast. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining me tonight. Those of you that are watching from Twitter, from Facebook, from YouTube, from my Instagram, and of course, listening from 222.9 the Mothership's internet airwaves, whether you're in the cars, on the road, connected through your Bluetooths, your Androids, your iPhones, your desktops, in your homes, in your offices. Just thank you for allowing me to share time and space to bring you some cosmic energies that can further and deeper align your world. Stay tuned for 2 hours of what love looks like. Right before we get into sacral chakra sleep meditation, when the moon is at its highest point in the sky and the clock has stricken 12. So remember, the sky is big enough for us all to be stars. And in the words of George Clinton, free your mind and your ass will follow. I'm Mayanta J. Muse, and this is your nightly mystic forecast. As we continue on the music, I'm going to play a song in memory of Sinead O Conner, who went to the ancestors today. Nothing Compares to You by Prince. I think I'll play his rendition too. So those of you watching over the videos, y'all gonna have to beam up to get this 24/7 groove, cause I'm out. Mama's got more mojo to cook up. This is 222.9 the Mothership Internet Radio, your mystic haven on the airwaves. Beam up. Every day is special. Why not find out mystically how? This is the forecast on your mystic music haven on the airwaves, 222.9, the Mothership. Beam up.